let's get unpacked from Iceland. Welcome back everyone. Today's video I'm so excited to do. It is going to be a new unpack with me video. So I just got home last night from Iceland. Wow, this was quite a trip, not only trying to get there during some crazy worldwide IT outages that caused my flights to be all sorts of wonky, but this was really, I just was wrapping up my vlog for the Iceland trip and I said this was really a trip of a lifetime. This was really a special, magical place that I was somehow able to go to this year, and I feel incredibly grateful and thankful that I have these memories and got to have those experiences on the trip. So if you are new to my channel, I have been doing a lot of traveling in the year of 2024. I did my first Unpack With Me videos inspired by Jessica Braun, so I will link her in my description box as well. I did an Unpack With Me from my Hamptons trip, and a lot of you said that you like the style of video. What I do is I unpack my suitcase and everything that I brought. I talk about what I wore, what I wish I had brought, what I forgot. And then I also go through the itinerary, and my itinerary is in here, thank goodness, because I can't quite remember the order of everything, but I do have the itinerary in here because I did go with a tour company. They're called Shade and Travel, so I will link them in the description box as well. And my friend Angelina from Vegas Girls Events, she's been in some of my videos, including my Barbados vlog and Barbados Get Ready With Me video. She was the host for the trip to Iceland, and I just thought it sounded like such a cool trip, so I signed up for it myself. I run through the itinerary on a day-to-day basis and talk about if I liked what we did, if I would recommend it, and that sort of thing. So I'm really excited to jump into this video because Iceland, again, like that was just a location that I never really thought that I would get to. I'm getting ready to go. Rome is my next trip. I also go to Greece shortly. Those are trips that like I really thought I would get there one day, right? Like Greece, like why would I not? You know, I was a travel major in college. I've always had such a passion for traveling. So sure, Greece, Rome, I'll probably get there. Iceland, I just never really had like, I don't think I ever really believed that I would be able to get there. So when I saw Angelina was hosting the trip, you know, it was a pretty expensive trip. Iceland as a whole is a very expensive place to visit, to stay, to eat, to do activities. But I was like, I just feel like I can't let this opportunity go. And I'm not sure if this is gonna go up first before the vlog or vice versa, but I unfortunately did run into the issues with the CrowdStrike outage that happened, the Microsoft outage. That was the day that I woke up from my flight. So I was supposed to leave on that Friday. I woke up to messages from Angelina already saying, are you seeing what's happening at the airport? My flight on Friday kept getting rescheduled, and then it got canceled. I went to the airport for about 3 hours just to learn that my flight had been canceled and rebooked to the next day. And I immediately started thinking in my head, is it going to be worth it to go? Because now I'm losing, you know, a full day in Iceland. It was only going to be, I think it was 5 or 6 nights. So, you know, I'm already losing a night. Is it going to be worth it? But I was like, it'll be fine. The next day I woke up, my flights were still getting delayed, and then ended up getting canceled again. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make this trip. Like I was texting Angelina and the tour host, and I was like, I guess I just, you know, need to request a refund. Like I can't make this trip work. I don't know how to get there. And at last minute, I decided to just go to the airport and see if I could talk to anybody, see if I could get on a different airline, what it was that I could do, because something was just telling me like, don't let this trip pass you by. And I'm so excited that I listened to that gut feeling and I did not let that trip pass me by, because it really left a mark on me. It really was a special trip. I was just saying as I was ending the vlog, if you have the opportunity to go to Iceland, I hope that you take it, because it just was really such a special time. I do wish, I did miss a lot. I'll go through it with the itinerary. You know, I missed like the first dinner. I missed a whole like foodie tour the next day, like a walking tour, which I really wish I could have done. But I still was able to do a lot. I still was able to see a lot. I stayed in 2 different places. We stayed in the capital, and then we also stayed out near the Blue Lagoon. So that was fun to see like different, you know, parts of Iceland. At the end of the day, I'm still really grateful that I was able to go. I have a lot of things that like tips, things that I noticed and things like that for Iceland. I get Iceland and Ireland mixed up. I just went to Ireland in January. I do have some tips and things that I noticed along the way that I will be sharing, and I really hope that you find this one helpful. Anything that I can link, I will in my description box. And let's get unpacked, because then I'm gonna need to pack to go to Rome. So first up, I have my jacket. You know, I just like wore this in the airport. This is from Halara. It's like a cropped corduroy jacket, but it was pretty cold. So we were there July, like I was there like July 20th through the 25th. It ended up being, it was in the mid 50s every day. We did get quite a bit of rain. So definitely, you know, chillier. One interesting thing about Iceland for sure is that it is light out for like 20 to 22 hours a day. I took a video from our hotel room at midnight one night, and I mean, it's light. I'm like, huh? Like, it was weird not being in darkness for 5-6 days or whatever it was. Like, not seeing it get dark. I was like, this is just like so bizarre. Like, we were walking home from a bar one night. Again, it was probably almost midnight, 1 in the morning, and it's just light out. And I'm like, what in the heck? So that definitely to me was something that was very interesting. But I of course wanted to pack a jacket just for an airport in general, but knowing when I got there it was going to be chilly, and then obviously when I left it was going to be chilly. Very different from Vegas. When I landed here it was 113 degrees. So not only did I take my jacket off when I got here, but when I got to my car I also took my shirt off. I had a sports bra on underneath. I was like, absolutely not. I love this bag. I did talk about this in my recent Amazon Prime Day video. This is one of my favorite bags to travel with. So I do always pack my laptop in here. I have my laptop, my charger, my hard drive, my mouse pad, and my mouse that I all pack, and obviously those have all been taken out. I do also always put my camera in one pocket. I have a hand sanitizer and like some mints for the plane. I always pack my phone charger in the side. I have like a little extra deodorant in here just in case. But a phone charger always goes in the side, and then I have my actual, I use the native deodorant. This is a little external charger. This is from the brand Clutch. So I packed this one. It doesn't have as long battery life, but I purchased this one from Amazon. I also just did my Amazon Prime Day haul video, and I got this external charger. This was key for me in Iceland. So key. And it's really nice too because it has the USB-C and then the USB. So the iPhone 15 or an Android like I have can use this charger, and then also this also is like my Kindle charger. I can charge it with this too, and the battery wear time is really nice. I like the Clutch because it's so thin and it just like fits really easily, but this, like if you actually need like your phone to charge, that charger was definitely key for me. I travel with snacks, so I still have some Cheez-Its left. I usually have like Cheez-Its and Bunch of Crunch. I do usually do, I think maybe I ate them all. Oh no, sometimes I have like the Say Yes, like granola bars in here. I have like another protein bar in here. I have my headphones for my laptop. I like to pack some electrolyte packs as well. Usually I have like some tea in here too. Just things to try to keep me hydrated if I need snacks, you know, if something's going on at the airport. You know, I have different snacks with me. And then I have my favorite scrunchie. I have my Kitsch Scrunchie in right now. And then I have, I love these scrunchies, and I sleep with my hair up in the satin scrunchies. I also always pack my lights. I have all of my million boarding passes, itineraries, bag checks because my flights got changed so many times. But the Selfie Light always comes in handy when taking photos no matter what. I brought my Unbothered hat with me. This is from my own merch line. You can get this on my store by Samantha March. The tour host, Shania, actually gifted us these water bottles. These are so nice. I should see where she got these, but it's a collapsible water bottle. These were super handy. Also in Iceland, you can drink the tap water and it tasted great. You cannot do that in Las Vegas, and I'm just used to not being able to drink tap water. So that was very nice to have this, and then I would just constantly fill it up as much as I could, and then when it was time to travel again, you can just collapse it. And I liked this too, that I would constantly just, when I had it full, I would put it around my wrist and carry it around and tie it onto a bag. I really like these, and those really came in handy. Of course, have my Kindle with me, and then I did bring the chargers. I have another one too, or the converters, because you do need a different converter while in Iceland. This is actually, I took this one and then I took another one. This one has the 3. You actually need the one with the 2 for the one in Iceland, but I just grabbed these from my friends, and I usually just take a couple as like a just in case. That's everything that I packed in here. Again, usually this is majority, like my laptop is quite big, and then like the charging port is like quite large also. And then we do have my big checked luggage. This is what I took to the Hamptons as well. So I will link this on Amazon. My mom also got me these really cute like luggage tags. It has a little airplane on it. This is really handy too, just when your bag is coming out in bag tag. Like, it's that one kind of like identifying piece. You know, some people like wrap ribbon around it or have like something to kind of say like this is mine, but this usually helps me identify it. But again, the weather in Iceland, since I knew it was going to be a little bit chillier and also rainy, we did also have like quite an adventure day. It was on the itinerary, it said we had an 11-hour day. It ended up being like 18 hours. We saw a lot of different waterfalls. We saw like a geothermal bakery, the geyser. So I knew that I needed hiking boots. I wanted to bring like a raincoat, obviously just, you know, layers and leggings and things like that. So I knew there was no way I was going to be able to do carry-ons for this trip. So I'm glad that my suitcase wasn't all the way full. I want to say it was only like 30 pounds or something like that. So it wasn't particularly heavy or really full, but that way I just felt like I was bringing everything that I wanted to bring, and there wasn't like, I didn't have to leave an extra coat behind or something along those lines because I couldn't fit it. So I did not mind checking my bag for this trip. So first up, right on top, I have this beautiful coat. I always get so many compliments on this. I brought this to Ireland as well. This is a gorgeous green pea coat. It actually belongs to my girlfriend at Ashley. This is from Ted Baker. Again, I borrowed this from her when I went to Ireland, and this is just stunning. Every time I wear it, I get so many compliments. I wore this when we went to dinner out at Blue Lagoon. I like that it's longer too. I wore this to the dinner, and it just really elevates any outfit that you're wearing. Like I was wearing like black tights and shorts and a sheer bodysuit, and then you put this on and it just, again, it just elevates the outfit. I love this so much. Like I probably should just get my own. Like I love it so much. I shouldn't just like keep borrowing it from Ashley. I should just get one for myself. So I always forget that in this bag, there's a shoe compartment at the bottom. I always forget that there's shoes in here. So in here, I just have my Calvin Klein slides. I just got these from like one of the outlet stores in Vegas. So I was wearing slides when I on the plane to Iceland, but then I also wanted slides for when we went to like the lagoons and the spas and things like that, and just to have like in the hotel room instead of like always putting on shoes. I did also bring my Converse shoes. I think those are probably already put away because I wore them on the plane ride home. So I just wore my regular like white Converse shoes, and those were kind of like my, you know, like my casual sneaker if we were just like doing something chill but I didn't need my hiking boots on. I had the Converse shoes on, and then I wore them home on the plane. And then for dinner that night at the Lava restaurant, I wore these shoes. These are from Dream Pairs, and you can get them on Amazon. I love these. These are satin shoes. I think they're so beautiful. They do come with a little bow that you can put in the back, but I usually don't put the bows on. I wore these in my brother's wedding as well when I was a bridesmaid. They do have a really tall heel and a pretty thin heel, but they're so comfortable, and I always get so many compliments on these shoes. So the outfit that I wore to dinner that night, like I was getting so many compliments on it between the jacket and the shoes, and I think something with like the tights, like it just all worked. And it was quite cold, so I did bring my Unbothered beanie. So I have my Unbothered hat, and then I do also have an Unbothered beanie. I wore this quite a bit in Ireland as well. I was trying to find our itinerary, so it's really nice because Shade and Travel does make a little itinerary for us. So day one is unfortunately what I missed. So I was supposed to leave here at like 1 p.m. on Friday. Then I was supposed to get to Iceland at like 6 a.m. Saturday. So there's a 7-hour time difference from where I am in Vegas, which is PST. There's a 7-hour time difference. So it was going to be like, you know, the sleep on the plane like type of situation. And then when we got there, we were supposed to go to the Sky Lagoon, which we were luckily able to reschedule, and then get to the hotel, settle in, and the welcome dinner was at Ericsson. So I wasn't able to do that, but from what I heard from people, they really liked it. Afterwards, they did do like a little bar crawl in downtown Reykjavik. We stayed at the Sand Hotel for the first few nights that we were in Reykjavik, which is the capital of Iceland. And I really liked where we stayed because it was in walking distance to like everything. We could walk to bars, we could walk to the restaurants, we could walk to, there was a bunch of different like shops around. One thing that I'm super upset about is I wasn't able to get a tattoo in Iceland. I've been wanting to get little tattoos when I go to different places. I'm not someone who's big on like shopping or even something like, you know, the magnets and the shot glasses. I just don't really do that a lot. In Ireland, I did get a shirt, just like a t-shirt, and I wear it all the time. It's in somewhere in this bag. But for me, I love tattoos. I love like little tattoos. I have tattoos behind my ears. I have tattoos like on my ankles, on my back. And I really wanted to get an Iceland tattoo right here, one of their symbols. I might still end up getting the tattoo either in Vegas or, you know, another trip or something like that. just to, you know, like, I wish I could have done it in Iceland, but everyone got the tattoos on Friday night. And then by the time I got there Saturday, I ended up not even landing until 6:30 p.m. And then by the time I got to the hotel, it was about 40 minutes from the airport, and got ready. The tattoo shops were only open from 12 to 7. The next day we had a full adventure day starting at 8 a.m. We didn't get back until late at night, basically just fell to sleep, and then woke up early the next day and went out to the other hotel. So I just didn't have time to get my tattoo, which I was super disappointed about, but that's okay. But one thing I want to say too, for the airport is going to your hotel, there is an app that you can download and do like a bus situation to get to your hotel. Because I was already so late, because it was like late at night, I just wanted to like get there and not really have to like deal with anything. So I just walked out and got a taxi. Like I was like, I just want to get there. I just want to get this, you know, show on the road. I don't want to wait for anyone or like make all these other different stops. And Iceland is very expensive. Like I said, this was the most expensive trip just in general to like pay for on its own. Was the most expensive trip that I'm doing this year and doing in a long time. And then also while we were there, it was very expensive because the majority of what we paid for through the travel company was our accommodations, which were very expensive. We also had things in there like the lava show, like we had, you know, the transportation set up, which was nice, to the other hotel. We also had, you know, basically like a guided tour the one day, all these waterfalls, the geothermal bakery, all those things. That was a very long day. We did have just a couple of meals that were included in there, like the foodie tour and things like that. But for the most part, meals and activities were on our own and up to what we wanted to do. And it was quite pricey. Another thing too is that the Icelandic dollars, it just sounded so crazy sometimes when I would like go to pay for lunch and they're like, that'll be 3,058. And I'm like, for tomato soup? And I'm like, oh, okay, with the, you know, conversion, it's, you know, obviously it's not $3,000 for lunch, but you just hear 3,000, you're like, what, huh? My taxi ride, again, it was about 40 minutes. It was $182 for that taxi ride. So most dinners ended up being around, I would say like $75 to $90, somewhere in there for, you know, dinner and like a drink. Was typically somewhere in there. One thing though about Iceland is that, different from the US, is there is no tipping. I did ask, you know, you don't get any of those tip screens, 25, 50, 75% tips or anything like that. So I guess Iceland does, you know, pay like fair wages and all the things there. So the gratuity wasn't like added on top of that. That was your full bill, what you got, but it was pretty expensive. Another thing that I want to point out with Iceland is that most of the places, especially in Reykjavik, did not take American Express. And that is all that I had. So I brought 2 American Express cards with me. I always bring one card and then I bring a card as a backup. So that's why I brought my 2 Amexes, and there was a lot of places that wouldn't accept them. Especially when we were doing the Golden Circle tour, the day that we had, like, I keep calling it Adventure Day, we would stop, you know, at like little, like at the waterfalls, they would have little shops where you could get like hot chocolate and like pastries and go to the bathroom. A lot of those places did not take Amex. So luckily Angelina was able to come to my aid. So that's just one thing. Don't bring your American Express cards, or just bring a different backup. Like, if you bring your backup card, that's not an American Express card. I brought my favorite set of pajamas. I brought these to the Hamptons as well. These are from Ekouaer. You can get them on Amazon. I freaking love these pajamas. Like, I feel like I'm gonna bring them on every single trip. I think that they're so dang cute. I love this pink color. And then I also brought the top because this top does double for me as a going out top. In Iceland, we really didn't have a lot of like going out moments like we kind of did in the Hamptons. We went out a couple nights in a row, and I wore this top one of those times, but this I just wore as a sleep shirt. And then another set of pajamas I brought, these are actually from Nordstrom. I just love bringing like matching sets when I'm on trips. It just makes me feel some type of way. The tag just says Nordstrom, but they are these shorts. And then again, also the matching sleep shirt with this. I don't know, is anyone else like that? Like a girls trip or just, you know, like a vacation in general? I just feel like having matching sleep set is just like the vibe. You know, I mentioned I brought my Ireland shirt. This is what I traveled to the way there. So this is the shirt that I bought in Ireland. So the way there, I just wanted to be pretty comfortable. So I know I wore the t-shirt, and then I think I have a black pair of sweatpants in here, somewhere in here, but I also brought an extra pair of shorts. I ended up not wearing these. These I kind of had in mind for like the Lagoons that we went to, but I ended up not wearing these. Of course, I packed a few like sports bras. I have like, you know, bra and underwear and all those regular things. But for day 2, our hotel did have breakfast. The Sand Hotel did have breakfast, and it was a really nice breakfast. They had like ginger shots set out. They had basically like overnight oats. They had cod liver oil that you could take a shot of. Like, it was a very healthy continental breakfast. I thought it was good. Of course, they had pastries and eggs and, you know, all those regular things, but it was like those little details that I was like, oh, that's so interesting. They had smoothies set up for people. I was like, okay. It was about $500 a night. I can insert a video of what our room looked like. And also, these beds were the most comfortable beds I've ever slept in. Like, both Angelina and I were like, whoa, these beds, man. Like, they were very small. They looked like a twin size bed, but insanely comfortable. It was a pretty small room, but the bathroom was like, you know, like a decent size. The shower was really nice. And I will say the staff was really nice at this hotel. I freaking forgot my toothbrush. And I think it was because I took it out because I had packed everything, and then I unpacked a few things when I was gonna stay another night in Vegas, and then I really did not think I was gonna get a flight out on Saturday. Like, especially when my rebooked flight got canceled, I was like, this trip isn't meant to be. I literally parked in short-term parking at the airport, a 3-hour minimum. That's how convinced I was that I was not getting on a plane. And I will also say long-term was full. Like, it wasn't like I just parked in short-term just because. Long-term parking was full, and then their overflow lot was also full. And I was like, I don't know where else to park. I didn't want to take an Uber because I had to take Ubers back and forth the day before, and I just didn't want to do that again. Again, I'm thinking there's no way I'm getting a flight. So that was $192 to park for 5 days in short-term parking. So, you know, there was that. But anyways, I forgot my toothbrush, and I called down to the front desk and I said, do you happen to have, because some hotels in the US don't have, you know, toiletries or amenities or things like that. And she was like, oh yeah, we have one. She goes, I can bring it right up to you. I was like, oh, I can come down and get it. She's like, no, I'll bring it up. And literally was up in like 3 seconds. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And then it was a toothbrush, and also inside the little bag was a little toothpaste. Ah, so nice. But yes, I forgot my toothbrush, so that would be something that I would like to not forget in the future. But after breakfast, it says guests will head to the Lava Center for an interactive and high-tech educational exhibition depicting volcanic activity and earthquakes. So I did miss this, so that was a bummer. A lot of people really liked it. I saw some really cool videos from the lava exhibition, and they also gave us all these little like lava rocks. So that was really cool. I have one somewhere in my bag, even though I didn't go. They got me a rock, which I thought was really nice. But I would have liked to have seen that just because I just find that really interesting. I don't know much about volcanoes. We have a volcano eruption story coming soon. So I would have really liked to have seen that, but it's okay. And then after the lava show, the guests will embark on a cultural sightseeing walking tour, which includes stops at local restaurants. So that was kind of like the foodie tour. Again, people said that they really liked this. They were having fun with it. There was a guided host that was taking them around and kind of explaining about the food, the different restaurants, and the different places in Reykjavik. So do wish that I would have been able to see that, but that's okay. But I ended up getting there, like I said, got there, took the taxi to the Sand Hotel, and then just immediately got changed. Angelina came and met me. She was so excited that I was actually still coming on the trip because she was like so sad when we thought I wasn't gonna make it. But for my first night out, I wore these black shorts again, and then I wore them later. I wear these black shorts all the time. I'm pretty sure I just got these from Amazon. Yeah, I got these from Amazon like last summer. I love wearing these, and I love wearing them with black tights. You know, I have my black tights are in here somewhere. I just got these black tights. Again, I'm assuming I probably just got them from Amazon as well. They're just a regular pair of black tights. So I like to wear those. And again, since it was going to be a little bit colder, I figured the tights would be a good way to go. And then I wore this bodysuit. I got this from Express. So just a gray, again, long sleeve, trying to think warm. And so I wore this, and then I wore some tall black boots. Angelina did bring a handful of like faux fur coats, and they were definitely just a vibe. Like, I kind of felt like a mob wife, and I was really digging them. So I wore one of her fur jackets that night out, and then I also wore these boots. Again, just got these off of Amazon. So I wore the tall black boots with the coat, and I felt like I was serving. I did also bring my favorite pair of sunglasses. These are from Sojos Vision. So you can get these on Amazon. I mentioned in one of my Amazon videos that I lost a pair when I was in Iowa, and I immediately reordered them. So I wore these so I could like complete my mob wife look, but again, from Sojos Visions, I will have them linked. I have a discount code that you can use on Amazon, which is just SAMANTHASJ. But that is what I wore for night 1. And again, where our hotel was in Reykjavik was really close to a lot of places. So we walked to a place called Public House, which is funny to me because we also went to a public house in the Hamptons. So when I saw Public House, I was like, huh? But they had a pretty varied menu. I ended up getting Brussels sprouts because Brussels sprouts are my favorite and they were so good. And then I also ordered a sushi roll. I wasn't as big of a fan as a sushi roll, I'm not gonna lie. It just felt kind of like dry to me. But we went there, and then I also saw a like ice cream donut shop called like Lukamas. And I went in there. I got this dish, which was these like fried hot little donut balls, and then they put this salted caramel sauce on top, and then you can get a scoop of ice cream. I don't know what to do with my hands. I got chocolate ice cream, so good. So good, so good. And I was so excited. I was so happy I got this. I literally left dinner, like everyone was still at dinner, and I was like, guys, this closes at 11. I need to go get this. So I ran over and got the dessert, and it did not disappoint. It was so good. One thing that I'll say about Iceland too is I did not really feel like the people were the friendliest. Like the staff, like I walked in and I was like, hi everybody. And they were like, hello. And I was like, okay. And then also when we were at Public House, like I kind of just felt like I was annoying people the whole time. And I don't know, like I feel like I have a pretty like joyful personality, like, and I was just so happy to be there. I mean, walking into a shop with donuts and ice cream, I was like, hey, and they literally looked at me like, please leave. And I was like, okay, like maybe people just aren't like excited in Iceland, I don't know. But even like the Brussels sprouts came and I was like, these are so good. And the staff was like, I was like, okay. So I don't know, and then even like we like met like a couple of guys at a bar that we went to afterwards. We went to like the Big Lebowski bar, which is bowling themed, and it was super cute. But like the bartender, like we couldn't get service to like save our lives. And then finally at one point I was like, sir, can I just grab a water from you? And he was like, don't call me sir, I'm not old, blah, blah. I was like, I've been standing here for 20 minutes and you're not even doing anything. Like I just wanted a water, sorry. And then we met these two guys and they're like, where are you from? And we said Las Vegas, and they were like, that's a terrible city. And they start going on about how terrible it is. And they ask us what we're doing. So we're telling them about the itinerary, and they're like, that's such a basic itinerary and so boring. Like you're doing all the wrong thing. I was like, oh my gosh, like they just weren't even enjoyable to like talk to the locals. I was like, okay. So I don't know, maybe we just like had bad experiences, but like, even the staff at other like the hotels, like to me, it just felt like we were annoying everybody. And I don't think that we're necessarily like a loud group. This group, you know, when I do my trips with the Sam Squad, a lot of us kind of know each other in advance. Like I start group trips, we do live chats, and we also kind of have like common denominators. We have makeup bonding us, or watching my channel, or, you know, just different things like that. So we kind of have these bonds. With the group trip with like Barbados and then this one, it's kind of a more like little bit of an eclectic group. Like I think we had like 4 couples and they kind of were, you know, vibing on their own. Shania had like her sister there and a few friends from like the New York area where she used to live. Me and Angelina were together. There was 2 girls from Vegas who, you know, we were kind of hanging out with as well, but we were kind of all like separated doing our own things. And when we would all come together as a group, we were like, yeah, even if we were just in like groups of like 2 and 4, it just felt like we were annoying everybody. So that's just like one thing that I'll say about Iceland is like, maybe don't get like offended if people aren't the nicest. But to me, it would just like kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But yeah, at Public House, had dinner there, felt like I was annoying the staff, went and got ice cream, felt like I was annoying the staff. And then we went to the Big Lebowski bar, got yelled at by the staff, and the locals were not like the nicest. So we ended up just going back after that. That ended up being a Sunday night because I left here Saturday, but I didn't get there until Sunday. Yeah, because I spent 2 nights in Reykjavik and 2 nights at Blue Lagoon. So, you know, I was like, also being from Vegas, you know, things don't like close as early or ever here. And there was a lot of things that were closed on Sunday or closed early. So I know one of the girls really wanted to like go to a club, and I said that I would go with her, but nothing was open for us to go to. So after we had a drink, we went back to the hotel, and we were probably back at like midnight. I will also say on the street that we were walking where the hotel was and a lot of these like shops and restaurants, it was like basically deserted, which was just another like just odd thing to me. I'm used to the, you know, the Las Vegas Strip, Fremont Street. I'm like, where are all the people? Like Iceland is definitely very small, of course. Sometimes I was just like, well, there's just like not really like a lot of people around. Of course, in the morning it was busier and people are getting like coffee and breakfast and things like that. But late at night, there's not really like that like kind of like nightlife scene. But for me, I thought this was a fun trip, especially to do after the Hamptons, because again, to me, this was quieter. Again, the word I kind of keep coming back to is like more spiritual and just like more about like reconnecting and having downtime, having a lot of self-reflection moments. I definitely took a lot of time like at the lagoons to just think about like life and where I'm at and where I want to go, that sort of thing. It was definitely quieter. I read a lot and just disconnected from my phone a lot too. So I really appreciated Iceland for that. But if you were someone who, you know, I do feel like there was a couple of the girls on the trip that like really wanted to have that kind of like nightlife experience. I don't, at least for me and from what I saw, again, as someone who's used to Vegas nightlife, I don't really see that there. So on day 3, this was our adventure day. It says guests will embark on the Golden Circle and South Coast tour. So we made stops at, I'm not going to be able to pronounce things correctly, the Thingvellir National Park, the Geyser Geothermal Area, Gullfoss, Slanderfoss, and Skogafoss waterfalls. There was also a volcanic glacier. We did also stop at a geothermal bakery, and they showed us how they make rye bread like in the earth, like using shovels to dig up this pan of bread and then like rinsing it off in the water. Like it was like crazy. And then we got to try the rye bread. It was a whole thing. I was like, wow. So on that day, I wore some, because it was cold and it was rainy, so I wore black leggings. These are from, I think, OQQ, I want to say, off Amazon. So I wore black leggings, and then I wore a jumpsuit over it. So a couple of the girls said that they were going to wear a jumpsuit, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll wear a jumpsuit too. This was kind of annoying to wear so many layers, including a jumpsuit, like when going to the bathroom. So I would not recommend that. And I knew that. I knew there were some things that we were doing like for the pics, but it made going to the bathroom very annoying. But this, again, this might be OQQ as well. I just grabbed this off of Amazon, but this is just a jumpsuit. So I wore the leggings, I wore this on top. Then I had a sweatshirt. That is not a sweatshirt. So I had 2 sweatshirts that I wore. I don't think I needed to do that. I think I was thinking like it was gonna be like the days in Ireland where it was like heavy winds, rain pelting your face, only like 30 some degrees. Again, this was mid 50s. Yes, rain. Yes, it was cold, but like I wasn't dying, okay? Like as the tour kept going, I kept taking off more and more layers. So you didn't need to layer this much, but I have this from Bailey, if you can get this off of Amazon. So it's more of like a lightweight sweatshirt. So I wore that, and then I put this on top of it. Just, again, another layer, has a hood, just like this white crop sweater. And then I put a rain jacket over it. So this also belongs to Ashley. So this is her raincoat from the North Face. The raincoat was nice to have. Honestly, I think, I don't even think I needed the extra pair of leggings underneath. I could have just done the jumpsuit and then like the zip up sweatshirt and then the raincoat, and I think I would have been fine. And then the hats, obviously socks and hiking boots. But the raincoat came in handy because we did see a lot of waterfalls, and one of the waterfalls you can actually walk behind it, but it did mean that you were getting very wet. So and then it was raining on top of that, so it was nice to have the raincoat. I am glad that I brought that. A lot of places at the waterfalls, I was seeing people wearing like ponchos. Angelina did bring a poncho as well. I felt like with the raincoat, I was pretty good. But that's a tip if you're going to see some of these waterfalls. And the Golden Circle is something that is really popular. You know, it's definitely kind of like one of those tourist things because you get to see so many different things. Like with the national park was really fun to see. The geyser, like the way that it explodes, like was so crazy. The waterfalls are just so beautiful. I think it was the Selfie. I think that was the one that you could walk behind. And then the Skogafoss, I believe it was you could climb up all of these stairs. It was like almost 500 steps or something. Someone tracked it on their like Apple Watch to get all the way up there. But the views were just so breathtaking, so much greenery. I mean, it just really like shifts something in your brain when you see something like that. So I'm really glad that we did it and that I was able to experience that. Again, I also kept saying that it reminded me of Ireland, just like the greenery, the nature. You know, we kind of did a similar day in Ireland as well, where we, you know, took a bus and went all around, and well, we did it several days. We were there for 10 days. So there was a couple different times where we were doing those trips, like all in the bus, going one stop to the next, one stop to the next, and having more of our adventure day. But on this day, it ended up being very long. I took like 41,000 steps. It was like an 18-mile day. My legs were like, what did you just do? So obviously I brought a lot of socks, and then I ordered this pair of hiking boots from TikTok shop, and I thought that these were so cute. Look at like the black and the pink. I got a 7.5, yep, which is my normal size. Wore them with thick socks, and these held up really well. Very glad that I have them. You know, in our itinerary, it did recommend bringing the hiking boots, and I'm glad that I had those for sure. Like I mentioned, there wasn't like a lot of nightlife situations, so I had brought this red dress that I was going to wear with the black tights and the satin shoes, but ended up not having a place to wear that at. So I think for me, I would have packed like less like going out clothes and more just like casual clothes, especially because we did so many lagoons. We did 3 lagoons. So just more like casual, easy to slip on and off. Like I also brought like a black lace dress. I didn't end up wearing that one. Let's see, I just wore the shorts. Yeah, I think it was just the shorts that I wore, and then for that dinner at Lava, I wore the shorts and a bodysuit. These are just the black sweatpants that I wore on the plane. I have this like sheer black bodysuit. This is what I wore to the dinner at Lava with the shorts and the tights and the satin heels. So just, you know, something cute to wear there. I did bring a black bodysuit. I ended up not wearing the bodysuit. I brought a like athletic shirt. I was gonna wear this on the plane, and then I decided I was gonna be annoyed by it, so I ended up not wearing that. I did bring like a long sleeved white button down, which is now super wrinkly. I got this from American Eagle, but this was nice to just kind of like throw over like a swimsuit as like a cover up, again, like going to the lagoons. So I was glad that I have this. I would recommend it if you are doing any of like the lagoon in Iceland. But yeah, day 3 was really cool. The geothermal bakery was definitely neat, like the waterfalls, the geyser. Again, all of that was fun, but it turned out to be a really long day. So by the time we got back, we just fell into bed. And then day 4, again, we had breakfast at the Sand Hotel, and then we went over to the Blue Lagoon area. So this area, you have the Blue Lagoon Hotel, which has the Blue Lagoon there. And then there's also the Silica Hotel, and they do shuttle you back and forth. The shuttle's like 3 minutes, or you can walk, which is like 10 minutes. But again, it was raining, it was cold, and so we usually just took the shuttle back and forth. But at the Silica Hotel, the rooms are really beautiful. They are expensive. Our room was like $1,000 a night, but it did open up to its own little lagoon. Now I will say, I think Angelina and I were thinking we could like go in it. It was like a swim up situation. You know, sometimes if you go to like Jamaica or St. Lucia, you have like the swim out suites. In my mind, that's what I was thinking it was, but that part of the lagoon is not, it's not heated. You're not able to go in it. I think it says it right there, like you're not supposed to like go on the rocks and things like that. But it made for some really beautiful photos, some really beautiful scenery. We had a nice little patio outside. The room was bigger than the Sand Hotel, so we just had a little bit more room, and then we stayed here for 2 nights. But there is also a private lagoon here, which was so nice. Like, it was so nice to go in it, and like how it has these stairs to go out into it. They have a face mask that you can use, and they have an area where you can like just sit and chill. There was a lot of really cute areas in the hotel where you could just like sit and like look out the windows. You could look at the private lagoon. They had a bar there. You could get drinks and bring them into the lagoon. In the Blue Lagoon, both the private lagoon that we had, I feel like I'm gonna say lagoon so much, the private lagoon that we had at the Silica Hotel and the Blue Lagoon, they recommend that you do not get your hair in the water because the like the sulfates in the water will really dry out and damage your hair. So that was one thing when we were there, like our hair was tied up. We would use like deep conditioning masks and that sort of thing to try to protect our hair. It was different than being at the Sky Lagoon because that is more of like this like hot springs, and your hair is okay in there. So I do want to mention that if you go, you know, sometimes I see people with pictures in the lagoon with like, I mean, it looks beautiful with their hair, but it's really going to damage your hair. And I did not want to, I've been on this hair journey for a long time. I did not want to do no damage to it. One thing too about the Silica Hotel is that there is no food there. So that was one thing. That was why we would go over to the Blue Lagoon Hotel, because they had the Lava restaurant, and also I believe it was called the Moss restaurant, which is a Michelin starred restaurant, and they also have a cafe over there too. So that hotel is definitely bigger. It was quite a bit nicer. I don't even want to know what the rooms run in that hotel because it's got to be a lot. But it was nice to stay at Silica. It was very quiet once again. Definitely a place to kind of escape and, you know, just be alone. The whole area is very remote. There's really nothing around it. There's no restaurants around it. There's no shopping around it. You do need to take a taxi back into like the city if you wanted to like do other things or eat at other places. So very quiet, very remote, but that private lagoon was just like, that was really so cool. So obviously when we were in the lagoon, I was wearing swimsuits. So I have this blue one. Again, I get just most of my swimsuits either off of Amazon or through Joby Swim, which is a local swimwear company out of Las Vegas. But I took some pictures in this blue one. I had a lot of people say that you love the blue. The bottoms are very high-waisted. I think I brought 5 pairs of swimsuits, which there was a couple of things that I didn't get to go to because of the delays, but I have this green one that I ended up not wearing, and then this pink one I ended up not wearing this one, and then we had this kind of like two-toned one. I ended up not wearing that one either. I did bring this swimsuit cover up. I don't think I ended up wearing this actually. I was just mostly doing shorts or that t-shirt, so I didn't use that swimsuit cover up. And then this one here is from Joby Swim. I wore this the day that we went to the Blue Lagoon. So just a little like green polka dot bikini. And then there was one other one. I think again, this one is just from Amazon. I wore this when we went to the Sky Lagoon, which was such an incredible time. So yeah, 5 bikinis. I ended up wearing 6 bikinis, and I wore 3. So not bad, you know, not bad. Socks, another sports bra. I was doing like a lot of like thick socks, you know. Oh, this was another dress that I didn't wear because there was really, you know, always be prepared for nightlife and going out. And then I brought another swimsuit cover up. I mentioned this in my Hamptons Unpack with me too. And it also kind of doubles as a dress, but I ended up not needing this. Again, it was just very casual, like didn't wear a lot of makeup, wasn't really like doing my hair a lot, like we were casual. So again, after we checked into the Silica Hotel, we did the private lagoon, we changed and went to dinner. That's why I wore the black outfit. Took the shuttle over to the Lava restaurant. It was good. The menu is pretty limited. I'll say for the Iceland food, again, I missed some time. I missed the foodie tour. But I wasn't necessarily blown away by the food anywhere, but we did also eat at the Lava restaurant 2 nights in a row. We were gonna eat at the Moss restaurant, but when we looked at the menu, they only had a 7-course tasting menu that you could do for like $300, and the only thing I wanted to eat off of it was the steak. So I was like, well, that's probably not gonna be worth it. So Angelina and I ate at the Lava restaurant 2 nights in a row, and I had the exact same thing. Now the lobster soup was really good. There was like some sort of like lobster bisque situation. That was really good. And then I had the beef, which came with like asparagus and kale. It was good, but I do wish I would have had like more variety or more options of food, which I probably would have gotten had I been on the first part of the trip. But one tip that I saw was to go to a grocery store and get your own groceries and have food that you can have like in your hotel room. Again, I think that's something, if I would have been there, that was something Angelina and I could have done early in the day before we even like checked into our hotel. We could have gone to the grocery store, got some food and had it at the hotel. We just didn't have time to do that with my, you know, change of schedule. But because like I said, it is very expensive to eat out. I think the Lava restaurant was around like $90 to $100 for both of those nights for our meals, and it just would have been nice to have like little snacks, like little things. Like again, I had like my granola bars and my Cheez-Its, and you know, I bought some Icelandic chocolate and things like that. But I think that it would have been nice. So if you're going, that would definitely be one of my tips. And that was something that we did in Ireland. There was a day that we stopped at a grocery store, got some things for, I was gonna say the Airbnb, it was the castle that we were staying at. But that is something that I would definitely recommend in Iceland too. I bring another long sleeved bodysuit. Again, I was trying to go for like the long sleeved. I ended up not wearing, this was gonna be more of like a going out outfit with, oh, I did bring black cargo pants. Those are probably already in the wash because I wore them on the way home. So black cargo pants I wore on the plane. I brought this little like crop situation. I usually wear this with like cargos and that white like button down. Again, could have worn it with like the black shorts as well. Another long sleeve bodysuit too, this one in black, so I ended up not wearing this. Very casual, very spa-like type of trip. So that was one thing that I could have, you know, packed a little bit differently. I also always bring my little phone stand for filming things. I always bring my speaker as well because I constantly need music. This is the charger that I had. So it has the two here, that this is what you would plug into it, and then you can plug in here. So this is the converter that I brought. And then also my lava rock. How cool is this? So it's my lava rock that they got me from the exhibit that I wasn't able to go to, and it comes in this little bag, so I'll have to set this somewhere. One thing that really came in handy was I brought this little backpack. I think I got this from Target like years ago, but just this little backpack. It has a front section here and then a zip here. This is what I brought on adventure day, and then basically every other day from that. I do carry just a black like clutch on my day-to-day. It is YSL, so sometimes I try not to like travel with it a ton or take it out a ton, just, you know, don't want anything to happen to it. Iceland is also a very safe country though. That was one thing that we were told. And one thing, like, we were like, you know, sometimes left purses at tables or phones, or Angelina would leave like her big camera, and, you know, just to like go to the bar. We weren't like walking away from it or anything, but we were told that it was very safe there, and definitely, you know, I felt that way. But this was nice because I could put my vlog camera in here, obviously like my cards, ID, anything like that. I could also put any snacks in here, my earbuds, charger, my, you know, portable charger. This fit a lot of space, but I would definitely recommend, especially if you're doing more adventurous things, is to bring a little backpack. It was even nice to have it on like the Lagoon days. I could fit like my flip-flops in there, you know, just different things like that. So definitely would recommend a small bag to bring. Let's see, day 5. This was kind of like our free day to do whatever we want. We did get complimentary entry into the Blue Lagoon for staying at the Silica Hotel because, again, they are connected. So we did go to the Blue Lagoon that night. Earlier in the day is when we did the Sky Lagoon. And the Sky Lagoon, epic. This is like a must do if you are going to Iceland, or if you're just trying to think of somewhere to go. This is a reason to go to Iceland, is to go to the Sky Lagoon, okay? So the Sky Lagoon is basically like a hot spring area. You can go into like hot springs pool, and it has like an infinity overlook to the ocean. It has a waterfall that you can stand underneath. It's so beautiful. My recommendation is to get there early. I believe it opened at 9, and we were there right at 9, and there was already people waiting outside when we pulled up. This was almost an hour drive, I think, from where we were. It is headed back toward Reykjavik, the capital. So again, what we wanted to do, our initial plan was, Angelina and I were getting to Iceland at like 6 a.m. Saturday morning. We were going to go to the hotel to see if they could store our luggage, and then go to the Sky Lagoon and then come back because it was right there. Again, change of plans. That's why things got out of order for us. But this was one thing that I was like, I really want to go to this. She had mentioned a museum, but I was like, can we please? I would really, and she really wanted to go there too. And we're both so glad that we did this. So we got there right at 9. I would definitely recommend getting there early because we could tell as the hours were going on, it was getting busier and busier. So I'm like, where do you even start? They have different packages that you can do. We did like kind of like the VIP package, so you have a private changing room. We have a package that includes doing their 7-step ritual. So if you do that, you get a wristband. You might see in some of our videos, we have like a wristband around our arms because they were a little bit bigger. So you have this wristband that tells them that you are doing the 7-step ritual. You also do get 2 complimentary drinks with that. So again, we got 2 blue wristbands. So they do have a bar in the hot springs area, and then you just give them their wristband. Otherwise, you do get a wristband when you check in, and you can just scan your wristband right there, and it's linked to your account. And then when you leave, you go through these sensors and you pop your wristband off, and then that's how it knows. So that I thought was really cool. The technology, I was like, this is great. It was kind of the same for the Silica Hotel. We had the wristbands to like get into our hotel rooms. But for the Sky Lagoon, we got in. It was so beautiful. We were taking photos. We were just enjoying the moment. We got a drink at the bar, and then you do their 7-step ritual. So step 1 is the hot springs. Step 2 is doing cold plunge. So it's hot cold therapy essentially is what you're doing. You do a cold plunge. If you know me, I love a cold plunge. So I was trying to challenge the girls to do it with me and go in there, and the cold plunge is just so beneficial for you, inflammation, all of these things. So did the cold plunge. Then you go into the sauna. The sauna is beautiful. It overlooks the ocean, and the window that they have in there is literally so clear that I was like, is that a window? Or because it's like this ledge and I'm like, could we just go fall off the ledge? Like, can we let our legs dangle? No, it's a window. It's just so clear, so beautiful, a big open space, lots of room in there. So gorgeous. And then you come out of that and you can do like a cold shower. It's like this like misty shower situation. So you can do the cold shower. Again, you're doing hot cold therapy. Do the cold shower, then you come over and you do a body scrub. So they have like this sugar scrub essentially, and you put it all over your body except for your face. So I'm just like scrubbing away. My hands immediately felt so soft. And then while you have the scrub on you, you go in a steam room, and the scrub essentially like melts into your body. And then you go and you rinse it off in a warm shower. I wouldn't say it was hot, but it wasn't a cold shower. You rinse it off and then you can come back again, do the cold plunge, and then get back into the hot springs. This to me was an absolute epic highlight. I want to go back. I want to take everyone with me. I want everyone to experience this. The infinity overlook to the ocean, the waterfall. I would highly, highly recommend the 7-step ritual. You don't have to do it. I would highly recommend it. It just was such an extra, it just felt like you were at a spa day, you know, the hot cold therapy, just the views from the sauna. There was so many times, there was 4 of us that went, me, Angelina, and then 2 of the other girls from Vegas that went. There was so many times where the 4 of us were there and we were together, but no one was saying anything. We were just looking around. I feel like I'm gonna cry. We were just looking around, and I think we were all thinking our own thoughts. You know, the 4 of us ended up having a lot of conversations about just life, our careers, relationships. You know, another girl in the group was divorced, and you know, we were kind of talking about that, and Angelina's talking about her career and where she wants to go, and one of the girls is a bit younger and she's saying, you know, I'm trying to figure out my life, and then there's me, and you know, my life is a hot mess. So, you know, I was just sharing a few things about that, and it was just such a peaceful, serene experience. Like, highly, highly, highly recommend the Sky Lagoon. We were so tired after that. Again, we've had our adventure day. We've been on buses a lot. We did the lagoon. We went back and took like a 3-hour nap, me and Angelina. We took a nap. We were so tired. And then, but we really did want to go over to the Blue Lagoon, which is at the Blue Lagoon Hotel. I will say, I see a lot of videos online comparing Blue Lagoon to the Sky Lagoon. The Sky Lagoon to me is far better. That is what I would recommend. I would recommend both. I want you to do both. I recommend both. I personally like the Sky Lagoon better. We did go to the Blue Lagoon later in the day. We probably went around 3 p.m. so it was busier. And then we could see when we left at probably like 6, it was very busy. There was no line to get in when we got there. We were just able to walk right up and go in. There was a very large line at 6 o'clock. We also went back over to the hotel for the lava restaurant at about 8 p.m. for dinner. And we went outside because some of our friends were at the Blue Lagoon. And so we went out to see them, and it was very, very packed. I think I'll probably be doing like an Instagram versus reality, because we were able to find like a little quiet zone to like take some photos. But in reality, it's packed. And there's also a lot of kids there. I want to say Sky Lagoon is adults only. I only saw adults. I believe Sky Lagoon is adults only, which for me, I liked that. Blue Lagoon was definitely louder and that sort of thing. But if you are traveling with kids, Blue Lagoon would be a good place to go to because they can go as well. Also at the Blue Lagoon, there are different packages. We got the one where we got like bathrobes included and a private changing area, like showers. Also just kind of like, there's so many people, it's like kind of chaotic of like, where do you put your shoes? Where do you put your robe when you go in? And then you enter into the lagoon. Again, they do have a bar where you can get drinks. They have a lot of different areas. They had, again, some saunas, some steam rooms. They had a quiet zone area, which is where we spent a lot of our time in too. So that was really nice, but the Blue Lagoon is definitely much bigger. They don't have necessarily like the 7-step ritual like the Sky Lagoon, but it's quite large, which is good though, because there was, like I said, a lot of people. One thing that's really cool there is they have this 3-step face mask that you can do. So there's like a little area. First you do like a volcanic scrub, you leave it on for 3 minutes. They have little areas where you can rinse off in like a mirror, and then you do another like 10-minute mask, and then you do like a 15-minute anti-aging algae mask. So that's really fun. That to me I thought was really fun. So we were like helping each other put our masks on and just like hanging out with like, you know, the skincare. Again, that's another place you want to tie your hair up and not get it in the water. But Blue Lagoon was fun. I'm glad that we went. You know, essentially we did 3 different lagoons, and I loved it all. I love a good spa day. I love a good self-care moment, and that was fun. But in comparisons, Blue Lagoon, Sky Lagoon, like I'll never forget that place. Some more things I packed. My jewelry box. Love my jewelry, bringing all that with me. I do always bring my like little pill organizer, and I have some of my supplements in here, turmeric, some of like magnesium, reishi to help me sleep, turkey tail. I always want to take my turkey tail supplements because it helps with your immune system. So, you know, airports, being close proximity, your schedule being thrown off, and all the things, I always bring my turkey tail with me. I get those from Eversio Wellness. I highly recommend my functional mushrooms. I did also bring my hair care bag. I won't go through everything with this. I was thinking of maybe doing a live chat of like what I packed in my makeup bag, since I usually do those videos there, but we just shortened schedule and just busy days, didn't really have time. But you know, hair oil, my color wow, I have a clip, I have a little dry shampoo, I have some like floss picks, bobby pins, you know, random things like that in there. Bring my Sun Bum sunscreen, just knowing that again it was going to be light so much, and just if I'm outside, most of the time I was covered in layers, but I just never think it's a bad idea to bring a sunscreen just in case. Again, mostly in here is like my socks and underwear and, you know, all that fun stuff. My Kindle charger, of course. I did have to work most of the time. I had to work pretty much every single day in Iceland, which is fine. I'm traveling so much, so obviously I need to work on these trips. I was taking calls at like, with the time difference. I remember I was on a call with my business partner and she goes, "You sound tired." I was like, "It's midnight here." I was like, "Yes, I'm tired." So I was usually up until about 2, either being in meetings and then like video editing and things like that. So I brought my planner with me. This is my planner that I do sell on BySamanthaMarch.com. So I just had like my list of everything that I needed to make sure I was still getting done, and my schedule with all of my meetings in here. So I brought that and a pen. Like I said, we went back over to the Lava restaurant. After we left Blue Lagoon, we went back to our Silica hotel. And then, did we take a nap again? We might have taken another nap. I think Angelina napped and I worked. I started video editing. But then when we went to dinner, we were just casual. She was in leggings. I wore this jumpsuit. I got this off of TikTok Shop. It's like one of their viral jumpsuits. And then I wore the white button-up shirt and then just my Converse sneakers. Like, we just did not care this night. Again, I barely wore makeup on this trip. It was very casual. My hair was in a bun most of the time. Casual clothes, adventure clothes, like very, very chill. Again, the Lava restaurant, we had the same thing. And then at night, I just went back, I packed, I worked a little bit, and then my flight out was at 9 a.m. the next day. And we were about 30 minutes from the airport, so we ended up leaving about 6:30 in the morning to get there. So that was, you know, that was the duration of my trip. But I brought my hairbrush, and then I'll just kind of run briefly. We have my skincare bag in here, is from Ali Glines. But obviously in here I have like my toothpaste, I have cleanser, I brought the Farmacy Green Clean. I have like my little eye drops I like to bring, the Bliss Tinted Sunscreen, a couple products from Tower 28, their Barrier Moisturizer. I always bring their daily facial rescue spray. I love it. I've been using from Peach and Lily their Copper Peptide Serum. From City Beauty, I just got their Concentrated Youth Serum, so I brought that. I always bring my tongue scraper on every trip. My tongue scraper has to come with me. From Typology, I have a moisturizer. I have like my razor in here. I brought like little scissors, like just in case we needed scissors for anything. My makeup bag that I always travel with is from Charlotte Tilbury. Again, I'll maybe do like a live or like a little short form video instead of going through everything, because these videos are quite a bit longer. But honestly, truly, I barely wore makeup. I was usually doing a little bit of concealer and powder. Really didn't wear a lot of eyeshadow. I was throwing on like some mascara. I brought the Makeup by Mario and the Natasha Denona concealer. My lip duo was usually what I'm wearing right now from ColourPop, their new So Juicy lip liner and also lip oil. I wore like the Kokie brow pencil. Was wearing like the L'Oreal Panorama or the CoverGirl Cleantopia mascara. I did get the Rare Beauty powder before I went, so I was using their tinted finishing powder. But yeah, didn't really wear a lot of makeup. Essentially was like makeup free most of the time that I was out there. But that is what I have in my little makeup bag. But that was my trip. That was our itinerary. That's what I did. That's how I still made it to Iceland, and I'm so happy that I did. Those are a few things that I learned along the way. Some standouts to me from the trip. If you've been to Iceland, I would love to hear your feedback on it. What were some of your favorite things? Like I said, I hope this is a place that I get back to. I really do. I hope this is a place that I get to go back to. So I would love to hear any of your tips and tricks or places that you loved or anything that you noticed that maybe was different from my experience. I will be going to Rome next. I'm super excited. I will be having lots of videos coming from Rome. I cannot wait to go there. I've never been. It's going to be so exciting. I'm so grateful that I get to do all of this travel. And like I said, Iceland to me, like, this one really was a trip of a lifetime. Super grateful that I was able to go on it, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about my experience. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.